From I was a kid till now, I still hear the man them a sing about island in the sun. And it more look like all the island with a gun right now, you know see it. Me's a man who don't think in terms of politics from no level, neither the PNP or the GLP, because I figure more or less that politics play a lot of games with poor people's life.
Blessed my people, welcome back. You see me? Today people, we're gonna talk about a legendary, iconic sound operator / owner as also music producer. And the individual that we are talking about today is none other than the great Lawrence Lindo, aka Jack Ruby. The inspiration for the name Jack Ruby came from an incident that stemmed in the US back in the days when American President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. The person who took out the assassinator was named Jack Ruby, and that person is recognized as a hero. So you know that is the reason why Lindo decided that this is the stage name and the alias that he wishes to go by. Jack Ruby was born in St. Mary in the year 1943. So people, we're gonna talk a bit about Jack Ruby's life and the influence Jack Ruby had on reggae and dancehall music. You know what I mean, people? Jack Ruby is one of the reasons why reggae and dancehall music actually got somewhere in the world. So we're gonna take a look into that. You understand, people? You know, Jack Ruby is responsible for introducing a lot of artists in Jamaica. Simply put, Jack Ruby was a whole heap of artists. And as you know, Jack Ruby is also a movie star. From a very young age, Jack Ruby always expressed his love for music and entertainment. Jack Ruby was back and forth between Kingston and St. Ann. You get me as a people? You know, Jack Ruby get a lot of exposure and a lot of experience going around other persons who were already in the music industry. Jack Ruby had connections with other veteran producers such as Cox One Dad and so on and so forth. In the 1950s, Jack Ruby started to express his love for music and entertainment. And in the 1960s, Jack Ruby started his own sound system. The name of his sound system was Jack Ruby Hi-Fi. And this sound system was a very good quality, as Jack Ruby is a person who understands a lot about electronic. And this sound system was based in Greenwich Farm in Kingston. You understand, people? You know, Jack Ruby sound system used to go around and used to entertain a lot of people. You know, people used to love the vibes. And back in them days, you know, as a sound system owner, it was almost as if you are a radio station owner, because sound system owners were the one who introduced new artists. You know, new artists used to DJ on the sound systems to actually get a buzz in a music. You get me as a people? Sound systems were responsible for introducing new artists, and this was the avenue through which Jack Ruby was able to bust some artists such as Burning Spear and many others. Jack Ruby's sound system became a very popular sound system in the community of Greenwich Farm in St. Andrew. You understand? Some people are going to say a Kingston. You see it, people? Yeah, man. But Jack Ruby sound system used to run the whole place. You see me? Used to bust a whole heap of artists and so on and so forth. Jack Ruby was also a music producer. You understand, people? And after Jack Ruby get himself established in Kingston as a sound system owner, operator, and a music producer, Jack Ruby relocated from Kingston and moved to Ocho in the early 1970s. This was a legendary move by Jack Ruby, because now Jack Ruby was the only established music producer and sound system owner that was not located in Kingston. You understand, people? All of the other big producers them were in Kingston. So you know, local people from the country here like St. Mary and so on, Chilani and so, them never really have to go to Kingston to get the opportunity for record now, because Jack Ruby in the country and Jack Ruby had do it right in a Ochideso. So you know, say a whole heap of little artists, you know what I mean, aspiring artists, man who are selector and so on, man who want to be DJ, always their own Jack Ruby. Jack Ruby in his time had produced a lot of music. You understand, people? Yeah, man. Jack Ruby worked with artists like Ken Booth, Justin Hines and the Dominoes, the Gain Lads, the Hip Tones, Big Youth, and Jack Ruby was very influential in the career of Burning Spears. As I said before, people, Jack Ruby boss Burning Spears, and Jack Ruby recorded a lot of hit songs for burning spear. Jack Ruby was a down-to-earth person, a businessman. You get me as a people. So Jack Ruby used to always be willing to give a listening ear to any young talent who come around. Jack Ruby was not the person who used to push with people or put down anyone. Any and everyone could have gone around Jack Ruby when Jack Ruby are doing things. Jack Ruby was a person who believed in the youth them and them talent. Jack Ruby also did a little bit of acting. In the late 1970s, Jack Ruby played a role as himself, Jack Ruby, the producer, in a film titled The Rockers, which is a Jamaican movie. As you can see, people, Jack Ruby was not a person who limit himself to just being a music producer and a sound system operator. Jack Ruby was willing to explore other aspects of entertainment. You get me, people? Yeah, man. So Jack Ruby was almost like a jack of all trade when it come on to the music aspect of it. You know, Jack Ruby could have do him own engineering. You know, Jack Ruby could have string up him own a sound system. Jack Ruby could have play him own sound system. You know what I mean? Jack Ruby could have even write song too. You get to my people. So Jack Ruby in his own right could have said him as an entertainer. But you know, Jack Ruby chose to coach the younger artists them. You know what I mean? Jack Ruby was a person who have a ears for music. So Jack Ruby could have listened to a young artist and know say, yo, the young artist is good enough.
Yeah, Jack.
Love, we are
Why you ask me this man along the riverside that sing some tune and he's here?
Wow, we are to make it.
He have a tune named Tribulation.
Rastafari.
Love Dread.
You know?
Well, I wanna, yes.
A murder.
And I love hear this one.
Yeah.
You can't sing for the boss, Mickey.
Eh?
You can't sing for the boss without shirt, man.
Why you hot man?
Yeah.
Perspiration around my
Alright,
back.
cool it off, yeah. Cool it off.
Jack, I know them guys, man.
Yeah,
I know
man.
them guys for a treat, man.
I hear them.
Content, you know.
Cool, look at the tribulation, yeah.
Same like the artist Mickey Simpson from St. Mary. You know, Jack Ruby is the one who actually see the talent in that youth there and decide to do some work with him, you know what I mean?
Right now we play some new tune on the sound with Mickey, some nice tune.
What the LP name?
Well, we don't decide the name because of the songs that we have.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
just the song
different songs. We don't even know.
from the LP, really. You know.
For really parameters.
But it's early next year it go and come out, so it's Mickey Simpson the man name. So I want to look forward for that. I'm going to hear enough Mickey Simpson car. I see him as a future star.
Jack Ruby was a family-orientated kind of person. You know, Jack Ruby have him youth them and Jack Ruby used to take care of him youth them. Jack Ruby used to take care of the people them around him. Same way. He is also the grandfather of hip-hop superstar Sean Kingston. You understand, people? No one can see the resemblance, you know. Jack Ruby was like a savior to a lot of people. Jack Ruby used to put on a whole heap of people pot on fire. You get to me as a people, and that's one of the reasons why Jack Ruby is one of the biggest names in a Jamaica entertainment. When you check on Jamaican music history, Jack Ruby is a person who in place used to always have a whole heap of people. Yeah, man. Jack Ruby's studio, the headquarters, used to always have a whole heap of persons there on a day-to-day basis because Jack Ruby used to take care of people. You understand? So every little man say them an artist, everybody who want a bus in the music industry, they used to there Jack Ruby foot. You understand? Personally, I have relatives who used to be around Jack Ruby back in them time there. You get to me as a people, them man there used to love Jack Ruby because Jack Ruby take care of them and Jack Ruby was not a disrespectful person. Jack Ruby is a kind of a reasonable person. Jack Ruby know how to reason with people and educate people. And that is one of the reasons why people used to love for their own Jack Ruby. Sometimes just for the inspirational words that him have to give to people. So Jack Ruby possess many qualities. As a result of all these obligations that Jack Ruby have, you know, people, Jack Ruby was a very busy man with very busy schedule. Jack Ruby always have something to do. Him sound system play all over the place. You know, Jack Ruby have a day with him sound system most of the time. Same way. You get to me as a people. As a matter of fact, you know, people, I don't know how many of you all remember Louis Rankin, Teddy Brockshot. Jack Ruby sound system are the first sound system him get a break pan. You understand, people? So when you need to know how far Jack Ruby's sound system actually come from. And people need to acknowledge Jack Ruby as a legend that he is as it relates to dancehall and reggae music on a whole. You get me as a people. And you can even go as far back as ska. So people, because of a lot of pressures Jack Ruby have to deal with from a day-to-day basis. You know, a lot of pressure, you get me? A lot of persons that demand a lot from Jack Ruby. You know, Jack Ruby have to up and down all the time. You know, Jack Ruby not really getting enough rest. And as a result of that, Jack Ruby ended up with hypertension, you get me? High blood pressure. Back in them days, man mostly never used to really like to follow up doctor office and so on. And as a result of that, high blood pressure oftentimes lead to other illness. So people, in the 1980s, Jack Ruby started to become ill. Jack Ruby started to develop kidney issues. You get me as a people, yeah man, Jack Ruby, they start to have kidney problem. And that come from high blood pressure, because high blood pressure, I say, lead to them thing there. As also diabetes lead to them thing there. Even though Jack Ruby was becoming ill, Jack Ruby always still try to put out 100%. Jack Ruby still try to put 100% on the outside. Same way, still try to help out youth same way. Jack Ruby still work on album same. As a matter of fact, in the time that Jack Ruby actually passed off, he was supposed to release an album for Mickey Simpson. To my knowledge, that album was never released.
In the air, you never get nowhere. LP name.
Well, we don't decide the name because of the songs that we have.
Yeah,
it's just the song
different songs, we don't even know.
from the LP, really.
But really term it as
But it's early next year, it's going to come out. So it's Mickey Simpson, the man name. So I want to look forward for that. I'm going to hear enough Mickey Simpson.
So now, peeps, we're going to talk about Jack Ruby's death at the age of just 45 years old. So Jack Ruby had all this impact on reggae music in Jamaica and throughout the world from a very young age. You understand, people, because when Jack Ruby passed off, he was only 45. So so Jack Ruby did really work 2 times as hard to achieve so much things and achieve such a reputation at such a young age. People, Lawrence Lindo, aka Jack Ruby, died on the 7th of April 1989 at the Kingston Public Hospital. His cause of death is chronic renal failure. Jack Ruby died from kidney issues, and his kidney issues were developed as a result of high blood pressure. You understand, people? So Jack Ruby was a legend. Jack Ruby did some great things. Sadly, Jack Ruby's journey was cut short by illness. You get me as a people, Possibly, if Jack Ruby was a person who maybe used to pay more attention to his health, just like most other men, especially back in them days, they never used to really follow up doctor office like that. You get me as a people? So, a little high blood pressure, and a man really pay no mind until the same high blood pressure cause other complications. You get me as a people? So, Jack Ruby was a busy man. He never really have time to sit down like that. Jack Ruby is always there on the go. I think that's one of the reasons why Jack Ruby eventually end up with the kidney issues. You understand, people? Because Jack Ruby is always under pressure, always have things that deal with here and there. Same way, you see me?
And the era in which Jack Ruby used to conduct his business, James Avenue, has recently been rebranded as Jack Ruby Avenue. And this move is really to highlight the great works that Jack Ruby has done.
Anyway, people, that is my bit as it relates to Jack Ruby. I understand, people. Jack Ruby, the great things, and we have to remember Jack Ruby for him do. You understand, people? So, salute Jack Ruby. You can like, subscribe, share. Peace.
Give the people their duties in order to survive.
It works.
Yeah, Jack.
Love, we are
Why you
saying.
ask me this man along the riverside that sing some tune he's here?
Wow, we are saying, Mickey.
He have one tune named Tribulation.
Rastafari.
Love, Jed. Well, I want to. Yes.
A murder.
And I love hear this one.
Yeah.
You can't sing for the boss, so Mickey.
Eh?
You can't sing for the boss without shirt, man.
Why you hot man?
Yeah.
Perspiration around on my
Alright,
back.
cool it off, there, cool it off.
Jack, I know them guys, man.
We do have no doubt about these artists if we decide to promote them. If them have good lyrics and good rhythm that I can produce.
What do you consider good lyrics?
Well,
Is it about the political situation?
no, well, not generally. Me's a man who don't think in terms of politics from no level, neither the PNP or the GLP, because I figure more or less that politics play a lot of games with poor people's life. You dig? I am dealing with the music of reality, like telling you what happening around the people in the community, telling you what happened over there, why John is killing Tom, and a lot of these things is because of political thoughts within the people. From I was a kid till now, I still hear the man them sing about island in the sun. And it more look like all the island with a gun right now, you know, see it? and the people them still are sing that. Them not really give no privilege to them youth who can sing Jamaica and what is in Jamaicans to the people. The privilege has given to a set of one who that really want to sound like all Teddy Prendergast, want to sound like all Elvis Presley and them thing there. And you have true people who create music, which I think if we publicize the music that within Jamaican, because if I go in a small island, when I go to Trinidad, I hear Calypso and Steel Pan. So I think we need to produce and promote more of our own production, you know.
How do you feel about the song Tribulation that you sing?
Well, I seen tribulation in a lot of people's mind, you know. So, it's I who just give the message to bring it out onto the people. You know, my people around me and even to the foreigners of the earth, you know. Because Jah really send a messenger each time to speak to his people.
But the politicians in Jamaica use reggae music.
They have to use the music because God said music alone shall live. Politics is a folly. The music controls the mind of the people. So at all time, whenever time the strong get weak, because right now them say only the strong survive, but why say right now on earth, not just Jamaica. Even the strong get weak at time. And when the strong get weak, him turn to the weak for assistance. You know, see it? So the music where the people sing, it elevates the people more than what the politician tell them because it's pure friction. The politician and the preacher tell black people. And the people get so sick of that with the music, them will swing and rock and do even better listen to what the brother say and just get into our music. For instance, an individual politician might use an individual recording, which is a hit song in the people's mind. So the people sing along to that. So immediately it's like them get indoctrinated because the music lead people, you know. Even the sound system where we do it at some time, you'd surprised to see how much 100 people just come out and can pay for coming and dance, but them don't leave till daylight because it's the only comfort, it's the only meditation within the mind because them have so much problem that is the music take with the problem for a little while, you know, see it. Marley sing some tune for using at the election there, for fight the ism where I go on because the youth them get crazy. A man just fire him gun for them brother for nothing. The political people give them the gun to get power by scaring certain people or to destroy certain communities. That is how it works from either sides, right? Each gunman will defeat the other side of people. That is always a tug and war with the people. But then when it reaches a time that election is done, or election, enough money in functioning, the same youth who get the gun to fire for election, go fire it for a man and take with him like $1 him earn. It's American gun, yes, man.
They use it in Vietnam.
Yeah, man. Them use a Vietnam kill up enough China, man. Well, the same gun them pass down, you have to kill up the black man. Is that, well, I'm not sure, man. You see the argument you arise right now. You know, it bring back the argument. When I tell you the music now is where the man them live. If you listen to half of the DJ them, you hear them tell about the one Bobby tell you about the 16 connected to the chopper connected to Bushmaster. Is the invasion round the youth them that even the DJ them pick up this is that them I say, which if it was a cooler runnings and that never happened, them would have to talk about something else.
Like them see too much moving now. Yeah, man. Too much friction. Developing a man brain.
Right, them thing you have to talk about movie. The cameraman couldn't stand up between them guys have to film this. This is a beyond movie, this too hot. Cameraman have to fling with him camera and live. Sometimes you go in a sun area and 16 back from 6 till 6. You wonder where man get so much shot from. You know shot the fire star Vietnam. You hear all some gun, a man at about all the chopper how it bust. Blow, blow, blow. And you hear all the DJ them tell you.
Them have a big around 16 years. What that? I want to the bra bra.
What kind of gun is that?
It's the sound that they make the man them imitate.
I don't even tell them about it. I don't know.
Some man said they will come and stand, they will put it on a wheel.
They will put it on a barrel. I'm going to start bus here. Plug in. Plug it.
Right now it look like a bit cooler than before the election still, you know. And I hope it continue upon this trend because too much people dead, you know. Too much youth. Mickey, I run upon them tune and get them ready, you know. See
Yes, sir.
we look for a match down the road. We just want to get them instrument a circle and some enough for us.
Them things I just catch up where we have really still.
Yeah,
you know.
well, within the time we can work them the right way. We know some Mickey right now is tomorrow's star.
It's a man that I know, and I know him have some nice tune.
Yes,
and I like him all, make a hear a rockers.
Well, if the man might say that, Mickey, you could have make them hear something, you know. Just do your best thing. Anything you want to do, let them have it, sir.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Wipe your weeping eyes. Don't cry. No, don't cry. Wipe your weeping eyes. Don't cry. No cry, me mama, no cry. No cry, me papa, no cry. No cry, me sister, no cry.
We have some music, but man.
I like hear what they are them have. Is they write them own songs and things?
Yeah.
Never record before.
No.
So they are them I like I produce them songs. But if the sound is up to date and the people, if it's right thing, the people will really deal with. We can work something out and deal with some recording, but I don't fear the sound, man.
Yeah,
the positives of the sound, right?
I struggle in music, you know.
Struggle.
Yeah.
We could hear it now.
Discrimination is causing dissolution. Discrimination is causing pure separation. Discrimination is dividing the black generation. And if some don't stand strong, they always do something wrong. So we got to move the barrier. Yes. Some way, somehow, got to move the barrier. Some way, somehow, got to move the barrier. One and all, some way, somehow. If you were living in Kingston 12, it's hard to find a job in Kingston too. The aristocrat people fight against the ghetto people. If your ear is tall, yes, and naughty, they would say there's no place for you in this society. So we got to move the barrier. Yes.
Nice, one of a nice tune, see? Well, them have them own sound, but you know, you see right now, it's coming on to Christmas time. We're going to do the recording like from January go down. So what I like the man them do, keep in tune with that and check I like the first week of January. We definitely can't put this tune up on the road because them kind of recording is what I man say. Them barrier and struggles they have to remove. So this guidance still then. I will give the man them some more listening and the man them can tune in when them ready. Give thanks. Love you.